thank you so much everyone for our collaborative team meeting today. Focus will be literacy, and I'm going to take on the role of facilitator. Heather, thank you so much for recording. Is there anyone who would like to be the timekeeper? And all that is just keeping track of some times as I say them.
I can.
You don't mind? Yeah. Thanks so much, Naomi. All right, so we'll start off with a review of our norms. If we can scroll down just a little bit there, Heather. And could we set a 10-minute timer, please, Naomi, for this? Mm-hmm. So our norms are there, but today let's focus on our second one of being strength-based, solution-oriented. And to do that, when we get to our key issues, we're going to strive to get 10 ideas per key issue, really focus on possible solutions. So that's kind of our ambition as we go through today. Okay, so let's go down and we're going to start right off with celebrations. Do you have a celebration, Regan, of a student? And as quickly as possible what that celebration is, and then we're going to dig into what we think we did that led to that success.
I think the celebration, we've done a little bit of writing, and I'm seeing some transfer from some of the skills they used last year.
Oh, awesome.
So that's been really motivating.
So, do you have a particular student in mind for that?
Little Johnny, and he even was adding a metaphor into his writing this week, and was very excited to share that. So for beginning of year writing, that was a big celebration.
So what's something that you think you've done that's really brought out that success for Johnny starting off the year?
I think last year the student used a lot of checklists and had really clear criteria in their writing, and just the repetitiveness of it all year long to see that it transferred over.
Awesome. So when you say utilize checklists, what would one of those look like? Like what kind of things?
It would say topic sentence, idea one, add a metaphor, use adjectives.
Nice.
So I could see them running through that.
Could I ask a favor? Down below where it says action, would you be willing to share a copy of that, of one of those writing checklists with the team?
Absolutely.
So if we could put that, Heather, of share writing checklist for Regan, and by the end of next week, is that fine?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so with this now, let's shift, and Naomi, we're gonna set another timer. And I'd like us to go, we have 30 minutes for this conversation, but let's just take 8 minutes for each of our key issues, and we'll try to go through 3 or 4 as we go along. I'd love to turn to you, if we have that 8 minutes set, Naomi.
You got it.
Turn to you for a key issue. I know you have a student noted, but please don't share the student's name. Just what are you seeing as the key issue? 30 seconds or less. And Heather, I'll ask not to type anything yet until we have that key issue really clarified.
Reluctant writer.
When you say reluctant writer, what do you mean?
We will give lots of opportunity for discussion about the topic. We'll provide exemplars. We'll have ideas brainstormed as a group and then in small groups. And this student still will feel very stuck when it comes to
that was going to be one of my questions, is reluctant because they don't know how a topic to get started on, but it doesn't seem that that's the case for this. It's just being able to put pen to paper.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we understand what that means. Can we just put reluctant to write as our key issue? So what I'd love for us to do is, you see Post-it notes in front. For everyone else, think of your class and just note a student who you think also you're seeing that key issue. You may not have one, and that's okay, but if you do, just make note of the name. I'll give you just a couple seconds if there's someone that comes to mind.
Can we list more than one child?
Yeah. Shocked that there would be more than one, but okay, sure. All right, then what I'd love for us to do is just set that Post-it note to the side, and we're going to take just 1 minute to jot down some real quick ideas on onto a Post-it, onto back of your pre-meeting organizer, wherever, Heather, as well, of different strategies, things we could do to impact students who are reluctant to write. Just a couple seconds here. Okay, so we are going to put Heather to the test here. And Heather, any ideas that you have, I can take over and just jot so that you're not having to feel like you're talking and capturing it at the same time. Let's start sharing out. Lindsay, I'd love to go to you first of what's one idea that you had, and then please during this, don't wait for invitation, just jump.
Sure.
Let's just Popcorn away.
Particularly in grade 2 at the beginning of the year, we do a lot of copying direct text that's modeled from the teacher,
Yeah.
or that it's like whole group instruction.
Copy
so it's
direct,
like
yeah.
Copy directly.
Modeling.
Yeah, yeah.
Even teacher scribe.
Yeah, teacher scribe. So copy text directly, teacher scribe, or working one-to-one with that child that's reluctant, so
Yeah.
that they get exactly what they need.
You know, one of the things I saw that worked really effectively with that one-to-one is instead of giving the blank line, using close statements where part of it's there, but there's a blank to fill in, and then next day there's 2 blanks.
Yes. Or green lines for
Yeah.
each word to help them with like organizing a sentence to recognize
Right.
how many words are in each sentence they're
Yeah,
writing.
so they're putting spaces between the words.
Yeah. With that closed statements, I've seen a few teachers now starting to use ChatGPT to make the closed statements. Say, make a 3-sentence response to this with 6 blanks within it, and it worked really well. Other ideas? Anything you had?
Speech to text software, depending on the grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote that down too.
Absolutely. I put sentence starters
So did
as
I.
well,
So I did too.
helping them with that beginning of an idea. And I find activating that background knowledge, so drawing on things that connect with them and things that they're familiar with.
So what's one of the ways you've done that before in the past, Naomi? Like a specific example?
I would say if it is a reluctant writer, giving them the choice and opportunity to write on something that they're interested in.
Yeah.
So it may not be exactly what we're doing, but just getting those ideas and getting them to start to write and build that confidence and stamina.
I think with that too, of being able to chunk the assignment so that it's not 3 sentences, it's get a start and then I'm going to come over and praise.
Yeah.
Then next
Yeah.
step, and just making those really small.
I've had success too with kind of just drawing and then
Yeah,
adding
that's
some
exactly what I was
labels and
gonna
then
say.
taking that label and stretching
Turning it
it
in. That's
out.
what we do in grade 2 a lot.
Turning into a sentence. That's what I had to for grade 1. That's a lot of what we do is draw, label. So,
Yes.
and we'll model that like I do, and then we do, and then you do. So they're
I like
getting them.
that strategy. Can we make sure we get that language?
Yes.
I do, we do, you do. Okay, so let's switch then and determine what are some actions for this. And I'm going to start with Naomi. Naomi, can you look through those different ideas and just what's one takeaway and share with us which student you brought to bring to this, and we want just names, no stories. So what's one thing that you're thinking of trying for the person that, or for the student you were thinking?
So for Mia, I think for her, I am going to work on introducing her to speech to text software.
Okay.
Hopefully sharing her ideas verbally will help engage that writing. And I really love the opportunities to write for purpose. I feel like that will really motivate her.
Do you think you need any help with the speech to text, or are you feeling pretty confident
I'm
with that?
feeling confident.
Yeah, okay, awesome. When are you thinking the realistic timeline? Is this something to start next week?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so let's throw down, what's Monday, 16th?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Lindsay, was there a student that came, or you said students, can you share just a few names and what's one thing that you're thinking that you could take away to try?
Yeah, sure. So for Rebecca and James, essentially what I noticed is that sometimes there's language barriers.
Yeah.
So I think pairing them with a peer that has good, I guess, like knowledge about the topic we're studying or the type of text we're writing would be helpful. And then also I really like the idea of using the closed sentence, the simple sentence for them, so that makes the language maybe a little more, like it removes a little bit of that language barrier, perhaps.
Okay, awesome. Can we add one more action?
Sure.
For myself? I will send you the info that I had on that the chat GPT, if that's
Okay.
of any
Yeah.
value for you as well.
Thank you.
Are you thinking that's something again to take a look at
I
starting
would
next
like
week?
to, yep.
Okay, so let's use September 16th for all
Sure.
of those. How about for you, Laura? Is there a student that came to mind around this key
Actually,
issue?
a couple of them, yeah. For Julie and Joe,
Okay.
I'm thinking that we do a lot of drawing and labeling, but I like the idea of taking that label and then I help them turn that into a sentence. And even if they trace over my writing, that's something I'm going to try with them.
Awesome. And again, are you thinking that's I can get started on that next week
Definitely, yeah.
kind of thing? Okay. Just helping
Thanks
you
for
out here,
helping
Heather.
me
Yeah,
catch
you bet.
up.
It's fast and furious. Okay, and I've got that. Regan, did anyone come to mind?
Yeah, I've got Jason and Crystal, who I'm thinking they're very artistic, so I'm thinking to get them just drawing a little bit to get the pencil going, and then using some of those closed sentences as well. I think would really help them just get started.
But before they ever put
Words.
pencil to word development, it's drawing out their ideas or sketching.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, excellent. All right, we're going to slide down to the last part of our agenda here, and it's just to identify, are there any students that we need to ensure admin is aware of to potentially add to a future SLT? And in this, we just want the name. We're not going to talk about it in depth at this table. Does anyone have a student that they're a little bit worried about, or we feel might be slipping through the cracks that we need to just have on our radar?
For me, it's that same one,
Okay.
Crystal.
Okay, perfect. Could I put down then an action of Heather connect with you following the meeting of just kind of determining what's going on? So, love to go back up. Can we go back to our last key issue? Today we were really focusing on that being solution focused, and yeah, we definitely were well over 10. Beautiful job, everyone. Okay, thank you so much for engagement, and we'll just do a quick review of our tasks. Is there anything that anyone has that they have some questions around? Or pretty clear what we're walking away with?
I think so.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks so
Curtis.
much.
Thank you.